does his practice,
EDC, bro, by the way.
would benefit. What is it? Oh yeah. Nice.
Talk about EDC, right?
Yeah.
My bro, the week, another episode.
Another week, another episode, man.
We are rolling. I'm excited. We're over here at in Kendall, my home, my neighborhood, my hood, and little coffee action. Very necessary for me on the daily. You have a different routine. You were starting to tell me about your juice that you do in the morning.
Yeah, I started doing a watermelon beet juice, Fangu Greek powder, and ginseng powder. And that is supposed to help, especially with circulation, declogging of arteries, men's health in general. So I feel amped. But natural, not like a monster amp, just feel organically good. You know, I can go and do a nice little workout and just feel natural about it. So
how long have you been doing that?
3 days.
Oh, you just started.
I just started.
Nice.
I'm supposed to be 2 weeks on it because after the 2 weeks is where I'm supposed to feel the difference, and any clogging in the arteries are supposed to be cleaned. So let's see. But I do feel like 100%.
That's fantastic.
I haven't drank coffee in 3 days. A day ago, I got a little bit of a headache, but after that, it's just been gone. I mean, today I just feel good.
Bro, I hear you on those headaches, man. I drink coffee every day, but I'm not like one of these people that drink coffee all day long and they're always with a cup of coffee and coffee.
Yeah.
But I have to have my coffee, man. It wakes me up, keeps me energy. It dies down the if you have food anxieties and stuff like that. Then I use that a lot. A lot of people that are not in the dieting world, but trying to curb their appetite.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
Go with the coffee. But I completely understand that. Something our audience doesn't know right now, but my wife, she's a doctor in Eastern medicine. She's an acupuncturist and does all kinds of natural, homeopathic, herbal stuff. I am not intelligent enough to talk about this, but she's like my cheat code, and she gets me all kinds of vitamins and minerals and things to add in making teas
100%.
and things like that. So
100%.
I am not intelligent enough to speak about it on camera, but I got my own little cheat code at home. Shout out, wifey.
That's awesome. I didn't know that, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So she has her own practice.
She's got here in Kendall off of Sunset and 102nd, I believe. And she's been there damn near 15 years, dude.
Wow.
So she does acupuncture and she treats everyone, men and women, but she could handle a headache. She could help women get pregnant. And she fixed my back. So we're, by the way, audience, good morning. Today's episode is us interviewing each other.
Yeah, today's a day about get to know your host.
Hell yeah, man. We're getting to know each other. So this is what we're doing, and we came up with questions that we're gonna ask each other and go back and forth and rebut and dig deeper. But that's what today's all about, right? So our game plan, maybe 1 week we do it ourselves and we talk about a subject, and then the next week we bring in a guest or whatever comes down the road. So we're getting to know each other.
Yeah, and that's another part too, is that you gotta think about this. Alfred and myself just recently met 2 months ago?
Yeah, very recently.
Like that. We just hit it off, man. Very cool guy. We got to talking about motorcycles and what we love, and all of a sudden we evolved with helmets off.
Yeah, man.
So I think we have a pattern of similarities in our lifestyles, things that we've gone through in our lives and so forth. So it was a click, it was a dynamic. But these interviews are actually also not only for you guys to get to know us, but at the same time us to get to know ourselves.
Yeah, this is very real.
100%,
very real. So being completely transparent, we like to prepare. I like to prepare. Can I just go right off riff and come up with something on the fly? Sure. but I like to structure a little bit of what our conversation is going to be about.
Sure.
So I came up with questions, and the caveat is, no dirty laundry. We're just getting to know our personalities and how we ended up where we are at today.
What makes the man that is sitting in front of the camera?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So going back to like the medical thing and the wife, here's history on me. My wife has taken every bit of pain away from me.
Really?
So in her world of acupuncture, by the way, I am not a believer. I am not a fanatic of anything. Like, so some people are fanatics about, sports or football, or fanatics about politics, or fanatics about being vegan. There's people that love being fanatics, and that's their thing. I am not at anything. I'm in politics. I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. I am for whoever speaks the less shit, and that's this guy. So that's who I am. Now she is fully fledged in the world of health and bettering health. This guy, I've been very daring in my life. I'm your guy's guy. I do things that's exciting. If it gets my adrenaline up, I'm gonna do it. So a long time ago, in my early 20s, I had to have been like freaking 19, 20, 21, somewhere in that area. I went on a hunting trip. And if you've ever been hunting, there's different ways of getting set up and hunting. And I was there with my ex-wife's uncle. He had property up in Georgia. And we were, I don't remember exactly if it was hog hunting or turkey or whatever the case might be. We were using tree climbers. Are you familiar with hunting at all?
No, man.
No? So hunting, we're looking for food to eat. And there's regulation, just like there's fishing regulation. You can't get a fish of a certain size, same idea. So we were out there hunting, and in hunting, you either are on the ground or you're on a tree climber, which is where my accident happened. I'll go into that now. Or sometimes they have like these canopy things that are above ground, so you could kind of look down. So this tree climber, if you could imagine this chair, like we're sitting right now, right?
Oh, I've seen those.
It's a chair you sit on, and the tree is literally right here. So it has a harness thing that you put around your chest. You stand up on the platform. You stand up, right? You bring the straps up. You click your feet into the tree, and then you stand up and you go higher and higher and higher. It basically locks itself in as you go up. For my hunters out there, thumbs up. So what happened to me, I was up on this tree. God knows how high it was. It didn't lock down right. It didn't lock. It stayed loose. So in doing what I was doing, the thing came loose and it slid down the tree 10, 15 feet. And I was way up top, bro. I was 30 feet, 40 feet up. I'm talking about these trees up in Georgia in the woods and the mountains. Super high. And then this thing comes flying down and it finally locks. And when it locks, I'm in a seated position. Guess what happens to my back?
Oh,
bro, slip disc, herniated disc. There's like 3 or 4 different ways of saying it. But I had 2 herniated discs from the age of 21 until, if anybody knows, have you ever had any back injuries?
Yeah.
Huh. So it was so bad to the point that I could not support my own body weight.
Jeez.
I was army crawling from the bed to the bathroom so that I could use the bathroom. I couldn't stand up with my own body weight. That was way back when, right? Years later, therapy, massages, never chiropractors, guys. If you're a chiro, sorry. But the pain that I went through was well over 20 years. Wow. Well over 20 years. So much so that you forget that you're in pain.
Oh my
Anyway,
God.
this story is getting really long. My wife being the acupuncture, when I started seeing her, now it's been like over 5 years, she started treating my back. And it's not a one visit thing, guys. If you have injuries like this that you've had for your whole life, it takes treatment. But she treated me, the pain went away.
Wow.
It was so, with acupuncture. So much so that I forgot what it was to live without pain, bro.
Wow,
I forgot.
Amazing.
And it's crazy. So,
Amazing.
and I'm not just promoting my wife. You can reach me if you do want that contact. But physical injuries, guys, go outside of your norm. Again, I am not a believer of any juju, magic or anything like
I
that.
am.
Bro, I'll tell you what, she turned me into a believer. Now I promote,
100%.
at least acupuncture, I could only promote what I've lived, right? That's my experience. So if you've never done homeopathic healing and things like that, maybe, open your eyes a little bit if you're into something like that, man. So,
I am 100% into it. I love homeopathic medicine and everything that I can do possibly natural before I have to go through a medical avenue, I will do it.
yeah,
100%. You mentioned chiropractors.
Yes.
I love my chiropractor.
You like getting reset?
But this guy, no. But he's different. I've been through those chiros that are like clack, 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 and it's amazing. But this guy doesn't do that. I have a particular chiropractor. His name is Thomas. We'll put the link below to his information. Great guy. But this guy sets you without cracking you. He just this guy's got magic. I really believe it's something magical that this guy has. The way he's able to adjust you just by seeing the way your hip structure is, the way your shoulders are set. I had an incident where my index finger went numb from the mid knuckle up, and I was in that situation for 4 weeks. Eventually, I was like, oh my God, I gotta call Thomas. I went to him 3 times. By the 3rd time, he did some sort of muscle movement and muscle massage with some sort of pulsating gun that he had there. Dude, I swear to God to you, within a week and a half, it was gone. Wow. It was gone. And I've had back issues my whole life. Since I was young, I was diagnosed with spinal bifida. And I only found out because I used to play football as a young boy. And I got an injury. And at 11, 12 years old, I was screaming in bed to get out of bed. I couldn't get out of bed. So that's where I ended up going to doctors. My parents took me at the time, and I went to a really good doctor, one of the Dolphins doctors, and he ended up, I was diagnosed with spinal bifida, so I had to be very careful. So that's why as I got older, that's when I would get into martial arts and stuff like that, but when I was young, I couldn't. So anything that was a type of contact, I had to be very careful. But motorcycles were always my thing, so it didn't matter. I was on bikes, and any injuries that I would receive, but when you're young, you don't think about things. When you get older is when you start realizing, damn, I shouldn't have done that. Like my grandpa was like, oh, you're gonna feel it when you get older. He was right,
Damn
man.
right, we do
My
feel it.
wrist hurt,
we do feel it.
There's just pains that things that I could have avoided when I was younger. But anyways, that's a little bit of our backstories, especially when it comes to injuries.
Oh man, and the stories, we could go for days, man. We can go for days.
We can definitely go for days. But we will be bringing in a men's health segment.
Yes, absolutely.
100%. We're gonna bring in a couple doctors, maybe some nurse practitioners, just to discuss about men's health.
Professionals.
Just discuss it, because at the end of the day, we're getting older, and there's our things that we need to know.
Yeah. Share our experiences and firsthand accounts. Why we feel this is important. So what do you say we get into it, bro?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
All right. So let's find out a little bit of origin stories.
All right. So let's do it.
Estevan, you are the man at Throttle Therapy Project. In our previous episode, you gave us information about when you were younger, and you were on set at a production. You were doing PA work, and at what point, I guess, in your upbringing, did you realize that you wanted to, I guess, give back as a form of therapy and kind of step away from the corporate business world? Tell us a little bit about that.
I think I've always been like this. I've always wanted to give back. I've always wanted to help. When I was 33 years old, I went through a very bad breakup and a very bad scenario in my life. Changed me, kind of just it morphed me into a different person. But rather than taking that negative energy that I was going through, I turned it into something positive, and I created a project called My Mother Planet. And it was based on environmental activism. And it all started because I looked at a magazine of National Geographic's,
Oh.
And back then they were talking about the polar bears and their extinction and so forth, and it just hit me hard because I'm a bit of a softie, a very, very sensitive heart, especially to nature, to people. If I see somebody hurt on the side of the road, the first thing I'm gonna do is rush to them. It's who I am. But I've always wanted to do things that just give back to either thy neighbor, to society itself, to kids in general, just in general. I've always been that type of person. So when that project, which was about 11 years of my life, didn't pan out the way that I wanted it to, I went into a little bit of a depression. Because imagine you dedicate your entire life to something, you have the protocol, you have the vision, and this is what I saw. This was my future. And when it didn't happen, it just hit me hard, man. And I went through a lot of ups and downs. I think eventually at a certain point in my life, which was somewhat recent, is where I started evolving with this whole throttle therapy concept and doing things for men's health. I think mainly because myself getting older, seeing the things that I've gone through in my life between losing my mom, divorce, friendships, partnerships that have gone to crap, and just, always having faith in humanity, and things just kind of always go sideways. But I think at the end of the day, I went back to that same route. And then I started evolving as a man. I think I found myself like in my late 40s, early 50s. Well, I'm not early 50s. I just turned 50. I'm 51 right now. 51 or 53? I'm 51. So
How old am I?
I think this is where I started finding myself as a man and finding myself and my purpose. And throttle therapy comes into me. Come up with this idea. I'm a very creative mind. I'm always coming up with ideas and stuff. 80% of the stuff doesn't evolve, but it's just I'm constantly creating. And then, Throttle Therapy came to be. I became part of a really cool motorcycle group. I met Alfred as well too, and I just became involved in this world. I was always a solo rider. I never rode with anybody. For me, it was just more the motorcycle. I didn't really care about things. But as I started meeting men my age and even younger kids, I started realizing how important it was for us as older men to be that influence that these young kids need actually, because I needed that when I was young. If I had an older version of myself when I was younger, my God, I would have probably gone through less than what I went through in life. But yeah, years later, I came up with Throttle Therapy. And I wanted to turn it into something that I can do positive for men's health, myself and every other man, because we all go through a lot, and there's a lot that we go through.
We sure do,
and
bro.
We never talk about it. We're made to just get up, pull your pants up. I don't want to hear your problems. Just go to work, man. Make your money, support what you got to do, and that's it. And it's not like that, man. I started realizing a lot of men had issues, and we have problems. So that's where Throttle Therapy came to be, but I use the motorcycle as my platform because it's true. I get on a bike and I forget about everything.
Right.
I may be in my helmet talking crap about a bunch of things that's going on, and I'm like, I can't believe this. Why did she say this? What happened here? I didn't make this deal,
Look at that asshole.
But by that time, what a dick. Well, by that time I'm done and I get off the bike, I just feel good. Besides that, working out is my flag. That's where everything changes for me. I could have had the worst day of my life, and I'll go for a run like Forrest, man.
Nice.
And I just run, man. And when I'm done, I'm neutralized.
Bro, it's so important. And going back, and I completely agree with everything you're saying about men's health, dude. My eyes were open, sadly, as a young man, growing up. In my era, but by the way, guys, I was born in '76. I grew up in the '80s, early '90s. Back in those times, there was no movement for men's anything, or mental health anything.
Yeah,
it was more about break dancing and graffiti and cars that had bass. That's the era that I grew up in. So men's health. Sadly, my eyes were open in my late teens, early 20s. I had a fraternity brother of mine, late brother now, Pete, and he very sadly committed suicide. And bro, what a shock, right? What a shock. Literally, I was maybe 17, 18 years old,
Jeez.
19 years old.
Sad
I
to
wasn't
hear.
20 yet. I was very, very young. And I obviously he was my fraternity brother, but we were very, very close. We were closer than most people realize. And it was something now, in hindsight, maybe somebody could have hurt him.
Sure.
He was the type of personality that, you know, he was like the life of the party, bro. He was a happy guy. He was always smiling, always joking, cracking jokes everywhere. You would never imagine that he had this fucking dark shit in his head.
Wow.
You would never imagine. Like, he was literally the clown, making everyone laugh. Everywhere he went to, he was the center of, like, gravity. He was the sun. And you would have never imagined that he was in a dark place. So at a very early age, mental health issues, men's health issues became very much of a reality. So whenever possible, I see a way for me to reach out to anyone, not just men, to anyone that I see
100%,
that needs to be heard, needs to be, you know, fucking go, hey bro, you okay?
Yeah.
I have friends today, friends that were absolute strangers, and I said, hey, are you okay? And no one noticed to say that to that person. You know, I'm not saying any names, but this is the kind of thing that made me happy and proud to be something, a part of this. So I completely agree with you on that. So yeah, man, that's
You know, you kind of went into my first question there, trying to get to know a little bit about the young Alfred. But you know, I'm gonna jump into another one. Okay, so every man has a moment where things change.
Right.
What was that turning point in your life that forced you to grow, to see life differently?
I could go in so many different ways right now.
The most important, like, what was, okay, let's do it like this. The first change.
As a man, something that changed for me.
Yeah.
Bro, it's always tied to loss. So I had, my parents were older parents. I think my dad was over like 40 years old when he first had me. So growing up, it wasn't that energetic dad, you know, like the dad that wants to play games, throw a football, catch a baseball, that kind of thing. My dad was not that. My dad was like the businessman. And I'm gonna say that he instilled that whole business drive in me, and that's possibly why I'm so all about starting different projects. But what I'm trying to say is that loss is what was a catalyst for change. When someone like a father, and I had a fantastic father in my opinion, and everybody has their experiences, right? When you experience that loss of a dad, and that energy, it now becomes a void.
Yeah.
Change is forced, right?
100%.
I lost my dad early 20s. I was already married in my first marriage. I already had my first son. But my father never met his second grandson. You know, my younger son never met his grandfather. So that loss makes you pivot.
Yeah.
A lot of people are blessed to still have their parents.
Oh,
Even at my age now, there's people that I know at my age that have their parents, and they don't understand what a blessing it is to be able to sit with your mom or your dad. You know, I would do anything.
Yeah.
To be able to have another bullshit conversation at, you know, at the dinner table, you know, with my parents, and they're both gone, by the way. Both of my parents are gone. So loss, man, loss is a big catalyst to change.
You know what? That's a very sensitive topic. 100%. You know, we were a very big family. My nationality is Cuban, first generation Cuban American, born here in the States. My mom was part of a generation called, she was part of the era of the Peter Pans. This is where Cuba released all the children, not all of them, but a majority of the children here to the States. And it was a very big era at the time. My dad wasn't, but I was very fortunate to grow up.
Pause.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I was very fortunate to have wonderful parents, my mom and my dad. They had their issues. They divorced when we were young, but they were always very present. Hiccups here and there. But my mom was a rock, and I lost her 2018. She was my best friend, and I think that having lost my grandfather at an early age, I was 18 years old, and he was like my dad too. I love that man like I can't imagine. So losing him at a young age changed me, but I also realized the importance of family members. How much the importance of having them in your life and enjoying every single second of them. So when it comes to the point where you do lose them, because we're all gonna lose everyone that we love, you're able to take it differently. You look at it in a way as I was able to enjoy them, I was able to love them, they taught me what they needed to teach me, and I was present for every moment of their lives. It's easier when the loss comes around. So when I lost my mom, yeah, it was hard. It was hard. But to this day, when even somebody says, "Oh man, I'm sorry for your loss," I says, "Yeah, it's okay." I lived 69 years. No, I don't know when. I was 44 or 45 when she passed. So 45 years of my life, I was able to have that queen in my life, that made me the man that I am. My dad also, but I'm talking about my mom right now. She was just the entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. She was the hustler.
Your mom was the entrepreneur?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice,
Mom was the entrepreneur, the hustler. That woman, she did everything. She had businesses of all types, from mortgage companies to real estate companies to design firms to furniture stores.
Wow.
And I grew up.
Yo, my kind of lady. I like that.
Yeah, I grew up with a family that my grandparents also had businesses. Mm-hmm. So I grew up in a business structure. Mm-hmm. When I got a little bit older, my mom just put me in the trucks with the guys, and I'd make deliveries, and I was her right-hand man. Nice. I was her Guido. There was a problem, I'd take care of it for her.
You carried the bat.
100%. So that's where my background comes from, my entrepreneurship. And you were talking about your business and your dad and so forth. That's where my structure comes from too.
Nice, bro.
I don't have that fear of not making a check. Because I have that faith that we can evolve, we can develop, we can do something.
The hustle, man.
One way or another, money's gonna come in.
The hustle is in the genes.
And I learned that from her, but she stressed a lot, man. She was, a single mother.
Oh yeah.
2 kids. I wasn't the easiest guy in town, but I was there for her, man. So yeah, man. I bringing in the point. So you're talking about your dad and and business and all that. I had that similar background.
I love it. I love hearing about that, bro.
Yeah, man. 100%.
Very, very cool.
100%.
So let's go back to throttle therapy, right? So throttle therapy is a big theme, and I even spoke about that on my blog this past weekend. When we're thinking about the guys that are out there, being stressed on the job or being buried in their business, like if you're a business owner, you know that some days you're literally buried in it. We wear all the hats. What's actually happening in your head and your mind when you're jumping on that saddle? The first thing you do is click into that first gear. What's on your mind as you're pulling out of the driveway?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one. So there's a couple of things. One is excitement, fear, because I'll be honest, man. Every time I do get on a motorcycle, there's always a hesitation. I do have a fear that God forbid something happens. I like to get on my motorcycle. I like to go out, have a good time, and I want to come home. I want to come home to my wife. I want to come home to the kids. I want to lay on my bed, because I'm a very peaceful guy. I love to be home, and I love life. For me, I think one of the worst things that could ever happen to me is that I can't live life anymore. Because to me, when I get up in the mornings, the most beautiful things are to look out at the trees, listen to the birds, You know, if it's raining, listen to the rain. You know, it's just,
You're a romantic guy, man.
I am, man. I'm a hopeless romantic, man.
That's good.
But I'm very grounded. I'm very, very grounded. I'm very grateful and blessed. You know, I'm 51 years old, and I've had the health of. It's a blessing to have the health that I have, and I'm very happy about it. You know, so when I get on the motorcycle, yeah, one of the first things that hit me is a little bit of a fear.
I love
hesitation.
That. Yes.
You know, but at the same time, it's a passion, it's a love, and I know that I'm protected. I know that I am safe. So that confidence gives me the ability to get on the motorcycle and really do what I love, you know? And then next is just, I don't know where the destination is. I don't know where I'm going, but just the happiness of being able to have the ability to get on a motorcycle and do exactly what I love, meet interesting, cool people, and then just be part of a life that I can, when I do hit my end, that I can look back at and say, I did exactly what I wanted to do. And I'm satisfied with what I did. No regrets. We're all gonna have regrets, you know. I should have not eaten that sandwich or eaten that bad empanada.
Well, the whole tub of ice cream.
I love food, man. I love food. That's why I work out a lot too, because if not, I'd just be a big old little fat guy. But yeah, man, that's those are the two things that go through my mind. One is a hesitation, a fear, and the other one is pure excitement. That's it.
Bro, I love hearing that. Very similar on my side. And sharing the whole fear factor of it is so real, guys. It's so real.
As grounded as it gets.
In my opinion, if it doesn't scare you a little bit, is it worth doing? You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
A little bit more about me, and this is what this whole episode's about. Guys, I'm super into science fiction, like sci-fi, like Game of Thrones to me is the shit. All right. So imagine, you know Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
So imagine that you're about to ride a fucking dragon. You know what I'm saying? How scary is it that this fucking thing can kill you? But at the same time, bro, if you could ride that thing, how badass is that? You know what I'm saying?
I never thought about riding a
jumping
dragon,
on a
bro.
fucking
That's
dragon
awesome.
every fucking morning, and you rip, that's that fucking dragon going, ah, you know what I mean? That's like every kid's dream, bro. You know, at least how I grew up, and that's amazing. But yes, the fear is very real. You know, you're very real.
It is.
And in hitting home with the therapy side of it, bro. You jump on the bike, and you'll see this. You see it like the advertising and the memes and the marketing online and all of that. The problems go away, right? It literally is a clean slate every time you come back, and that's why it's so great coming back home to your family.
Oh,
you know?
Man, it is a blessing.
The fear is a very real thing. It makes it real. It makes it worth doing. But coming back home safe, it's fucking key. Bro, always kiss the wife, kiss my baby when I leave. And if my sons are home, I'll fucking kiss them too. You know, big ass 200-pound babies, but I'm gonna kiss them every fucking day. I love those boys.
Man,
but yes,
fantastic.
Absolutely. If it doesn't give you a little bit of fear, man, is it worth doing? You know?
Is it worth doing?
Nice, bro. Nice. Thanks for sharing that, bro.
Oh, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. All right. So, if someone had the opportunity to spend 5 minutes with you, all right, what do you hope they walk away with, understanding about the type of man that you are?
You know what? Everybody wants to be respected, or glorified in today's social media world. And look at us like creating a video for social media. I want nothing else but for someone to say, "Man, that's a real dude," you know? Like,
That's good.
I never pretend to be anything that I'm not, you know? If you think I'm cool, guess what? I'm fucking cool.
100%.
But I'm not, thank you, bro. Thank you. But I'm not gonna pretend to be anything less than what you see in front of you. I want people to know that I'm a real guy. Like, shit, you know, this guy, he has a good time, but then sometimes he's gonna flip it and say, bro, this is fucking serious. Take this as a real, serious conversation. You know, somebody that you can not worry about for being fake. There's so much fakeness out in the world. So after a 5-minute conversation, I'd love for somebody to go, damn, bro, he's a real one.
That's a real dude right there.
He's a real one. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Mention being a habitual business guy myself, and you shared with us a little bit about your business background with your family. What is one of the biggest lessons that you've learned out of business and doing business that didn't work? So a failure that I guess you grew from and are putting into your current projects. Everybody loves to talk about success, right? But what about the failures?
Yeah, I've had a lot of failures, man. Since I'm such a creative guy, I'm always coming up with ideas. I got an idea for everything. Some of them pan out, some of them don't, but a lot of them do pan out. One of the biggest things that has always been a huge hiccup in my life, partnerships with others. You know, opening up a business with somebody, partnership with somebody, trusting in them, you know, putting your hard-earned time, money, effort, and at the end, they kind of like turn on you, you know, whether in a positive way or whether in a negative way. I realized that partnerships, as good as they can be, there always has to be a standard and a limitation, and everyone has to do their own thing, have their own thing, because once everything starts to commingle, there's always something that happens. Always. And from someone I've probably had maybe 8-9 partnerships throughout my life.
Wow.
Yeah, from businesses that have started off really, really well. And then all of a sudden, people's personalities come out, things start to happen. And then all of a sudden, all that work, all that effort just goes to crap. The business fails, and now you're back to square one again. You know, I learned one thing, and they've always told me, man, always try to keep partnerships, you know, either do things on your own, or if you're gonna have a partnership, make sure that everybody has their own. You know, they have their own structure, their own business, either SS Corp or LLC. You have your own structure, and then you commingle the two structures together to form one structure. But at the end, everyone has their own. If everyone partners together in the same business, there's always a problem. Always a problem. So I think that's where, to me, you know, business failures have always kind of bit me in the ass. I've always tried to bring someone in to my ideas, to my concepts, to, you know, what I want to do with a business structure. They lean too much on me. I end up putting in too much, or something happens, and then everything goes to shit. You know, and we're talking about 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. And before you know it, that goes adding up. Now you're 50-something years old, and you're starting all over again. You know?
Excellent points. The only partner I've ever had in my life outside of my wife, right?
Well, yeah.
The only partner I've ever had in my life has been my dad.
Yeah.
When it comes to business, I've never done a collaborative effort with business, even though, you know, my businesses are fully structured to do so. I've gone into investments with other people, where you invest on a property, a house, or whatever, and everybody divvies up whatever percentage it is that they're going in on. But I've never actually opened up an operation with a partner. But structure, I believe, is absolutely key for
100%.
those of you that are out there outside of having multiple businesses. I'm actually educated in this. I have 2 business degrees.
Nice.
And absolutely willing to offer whatever you're willing to listen to. And I am not an authority on anything, but what I do share are things that are proven in my experience. Always, obviously, be careful who you partner up with, but the
100%.
business structure has to be exact. So it has to have a safety net for failure, but then it also has to have a plan of dispersal. So a business gets to a certain size, there has to be a plan for that division to happen.
Sure.
For you to be able to separate yourself from whatever operation, whether it be, you know, another company comes in and manages it for you, it has to have a structure on both the failure side of it, safety net, and then also a success side of it.
Sure.
There has to be a structure for that. So on the day that we get $100 million, here's how we're gonna separate and go about our other business ventures.
Sure.
So again, I'm not a gazillionaire, but anything that I know, I'm always open and willing to share.
Very good.
So I like hearing that. Very real information.
Yeah, and that's advice for younger generations, younger kids as well too, because everyone, you know, thinks that everyone's your friend, everyone's your buddy, everyone's your acquaintance. You know, you got to be very careful who you bring into your circle. You know, and not just in business, just in life in general. You know, because I've always been a very solo rider. I've always been the loner. I don't have a problem sitting down and having lunch by myself. I love my company. You know, I've always been that type of man, even as a young man, because I learned early that people have a great way to mingle you in their shit. They're good at that. Mm-hmm. You know, so I like to kind of, at times, I've always wanted to stay away from all of that. You know, but you also have the opportunity to meet good people. Yep. Once you meet good people and you have them in your lives, you cherish it. You know, you give it value. Never losing yourself, of course. Mm-hmm. Very important. But yeah, that's great advice, especially when it comes to business, man. You if you're gonna do something, if you can't do it on your own and you need a partnership, make sure that the structure is right. Exactly. 100%, because last thing you want is dedicate 5-10 years and then all of a sudden you lose everything. You know, and it happens all the time,
day in, day out, bro.
especially in business.
Yeah, gotta protect the castle.
Oh yeah, man. So Alfred, when life gets heavy, business pressure, responsibilities, expectations, how do you personally reset and get your mind back into the right place?
Bro, it's everything. It's a lot of what we've already talked about, like, you know, the whole jumping on the motorcycle and riding, right? That's a big one, and that's the theme of this whole project. But man, something as simple as you go in your patio, the porch of your house, whatever you got. I love a good cigar.
Oh, okay.
Bro, I love a good cigar, and, you know, maybe a glass of scotch. If not that, a fresh pot of coffee with a cigar alone.
Okay. That's key.
Like, no music, not even my dog. Like, my dog could stay inside. My dog doesn't like me smoking cigars. He's complained to me.
That's awesome. He's complaining.
But yeah, that alone time is huge. A good cigar, sometimes in company, but just clearing out. I do a lot of reflection, more reflection now at my age than I did as a younger man. The younger Alfred was very explosive. Every once in a while, I kind of short circuit a little bit and I let a little, you know, out. But now I kind of reflect and I think about the important things, and it's a different type of meditation. By the way, yoga. I'm huge on yoga.
Oh, nice. Me too.
For those of you guys that follow me,
I haven't done it in a while, but
that follow me out there, I was an instructor also.
Really?
I used to teach yoga.
Okay.
Many years, certified teacher and all that stuff. But that's a whole other conversation. But meditation is where I'm going. Some people meditate at church. Some people meditate at a yoga studio. Some people meditate on a motorcycle ride. It's all about going back and just calming the mind, clearing out. There's a lot of noise. The world brings us a lot of noise, whether it's through our phone, our computers, our TV. Let's let the silence happen.
Yeah.
That, I would say, is a big reason why fishing happens. Like, people go out on a boat to fish for the silence of
silence, man.
to get away from all the noise of life. Silence, meditation, a good cigar, maybe a scotch.
I hear that. I'm with you 100%. For me, I think doing a good workout.
Yes, dude.
Absolutely. Good workout just always does the same thing to me, mainly, predominantly by myself. I'm able to reflect. I just feel different, And then meditation is huge thing in my life. I'm not gonna say that I'm Buddha or anything like that, but when I do have my moments, meditation always balances me. I always end up back in that state. Sometimes you get lost, the pressure of life, you lose yourself, but I always end up back in that state again. Again, nature, being able to sit outside, listening to the wind, I think that's where it's at. So I'm 100%.
Awesome. Let's wait for this truck to go.
All right.
So I think with one last question, we should be able to end this episode, because we could talk all day, man.
Yeah,
we could talk all day
for like 2 hours or more.
Hell yeah, brother.
You have to edit, do some serious editing.
Yeah. So Miami, the 305. Here in Miami, we have a very specific look at me culture.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah.
How do you stay grounded and focused on the work that you do in the community when the culture around us is just so focused on all the flash and lights?
Man, I've always been exactly how I am today. And I'm gonna tell you a quick story of when I was a young boy, okay? When I was a young boy, I must have been, 2 or 3 years old, right? And my parents told me the story. I would walk around the house, right, with these big construction gloves on, right? And I'd go around doing this. And my dad was like, you just walk around the house, just going, You know what that was? Those are the garbage men.
Oh!
In the truck, they have their construction gloves, they're hanging off the back of the truck. They throw the garbage in the back, and then they, and the thing would close and so forth. So my goal when I was younger was to be a garbage man.
Damn, bro, how cool is that? I mean, what kid doesn't like playing with trucks and stuff?
Oh man, the trucks, the noise, the gloves, being hanging off the back of a truck while it was going up and down the streets, that was my vision. So I've always been a very rugged, just off the beat type of guy. I always loved nature, I always loved bicycles and motorcycles, and for me it was never about flash. I think when I got older, I hit maybe my mid-30s, no, not even, my mid-40s, is when I started getting a little flashier. I was into the watches, the nicer cars, the expensive cars, and going to nice hotels and stuff like that. I realized I like the ruggedness, but I also like the
treat
the
yourself,
luxuries
man.
of life.
Yeah, treat yourself.
I love beautiful sheets. I love beautiful hotels. I love beautiful women. I love traveling. All that has an expense, man.
Yeah.
Has a cost to everything. But at the end of the day, I think I've been able to stay true to myself, stay true to my true masculine nature.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm a man's man. You know, I am who I am, and I'm not gonna change who I am. And I just, you know, but at the same time, I'm a softy dude. I have a good heart. You know, but my true nature has always been just to be a man. You know, so but I do love the beauties of life. You know, our motorcycles are not cheap, man.
No, hell
You
no.
know, just sitting here, Alfred and I, we gotta take, you know, moments out of our day to be able to spend hours talking with you guys. Our equipment is expensive. Alfred's coffee costs him probably like $5. So, you know, these are the luxuries of life and the plushes of life that we have to, you know, have and be able to work towards. So, but at the end of the day, I think it's just my true nature. My true nature is I can separate myself from all that glitz and that glam and shit and just be, you know, a man.
Yeah.
You know?
Feel you, brother.
But I am a bit of a what is that word? Of a metrosexual.
Okay.
So I like to look good. I clean up my beard. I make sure that I don't have any wrinkles in my shirt, but I still look rugged.
All right.
No lint on my shirt, but I look rugged.
All right,
So,
man.
yeah,
Fair
man.
enough. I think, you know, there's not much wrong with, you know, being proud. It's the way that I like to say, you know, be proud.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ugliness in the world, you know, and so if you see yourself looking good in the mirror, why not be proud of that, bro?
100%, man. You know, I've always said it too, especially when you get sick. One of the things, when I get sick, for example, the first thing I do is I take a shower, cologne myself up, man, put like some white clothes on just to feel good, look good. That actually helps your energy.
It does.
You evolve, you grow from there, and at the same time, it boosts your immune system because your energy's feeling better. So you're helping your body heal. And it all comes from aesthetics, you know. You feel good, you look good, you feel good, you know. But you gotta be true to yourself. Because if you're not true to yourself, you're lost. You're walking a path that's empty. You know? So yeah.
Last question.
Yeah. So I got a question that I thought was fantastic that you asked Danny
I did?
from Ratchet Baggers.
Oh, okay.
He says,
Which one?
well, he said to him, if you can sit with the young 20-year-old Alfred,
Oh shit. Okay.
what advice would you give him? Where would you steer him?
Man. A 21-year-old Alfred.
Younger, 20. It's 21, you're not there yet, you're not legal yet.
20. The thing is that, it's that age-old thing. Like, if I knew then what I know now, you know.
Yeah.
But how do you give a younger version some advice without telling them what's coming down the road, right? Because I would never want to know what's coming. You know,
100%.
I don't. Unless it's like a lottery ticket number, you know, or something like that. I would never want to know because those are experiences that build who you are today. I would probably say, not probably, I would definitely say, spend more time with your family. More time with your family, bro. You never know when it's the last time you're gonna see, you know, your old man. You don't know when it's the last time you're gonna see your mom or your grandma, or, you know, how many other dinners or lunches that you could spend with family or whoever your circle is, you know. Spend time with your people. Spend time with your people.
That
Life is always going to give us,
amazing.
you know, grind to work on. Family is what's important, man.
100%, man. You know, I would do anything in life if I can have that grand reunion where I had my grandfather, my grandmother, from my mom's side and my dad's side, my uncles, my aunts, which were amazing. They all loved me to death. My grandfather, I was the last Coke on planet Earth for him.
Yeah, bro.
You know, and I can just reunite all of them for just one more time, man.
And that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm a believer in that, you know, that
Yeah.
we're going to see our people one day, bro.
Yeah. But I mean how I know them in this life.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Just one more time. So yeah, you know, I see a lot of people out there, you know, especially young kids, they fight with their parents. Even, you know, even older generations, whether, you know, they're mad at their family members, or they'll go through life holding grudges. Man, you've no idea how valuable it is to be able to have them still alive.
Oh yeah.
You know, and you don't, a lot of people don't see that value until you lose it.
Yep.
And I'm a huge advocate on that. And that goes to everything. You know, a lot of our lessons in life is we don't realize what we have until we lose it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've lost already a lot in life, that at this point, everything that is in my life and is purposeful in my life, I give it my 100%. Because I never know when it's going to be gone.
Exactly,
you know,
right.
I had a situation which was very dear to me when I lost an ex-girlfriend, which I really, really loved dearly. And I sat there the last time I saw her, I watched her just drive off in her car. And I took that moment, I photographed it. And I took it as a moment that, you know what? This is the end for this chapter, and it's the last time I'm gonna see her, and she drove off. But everything that's in my life from this moment forward, I'm really gonna enjoy it. Same thing with my grandfather, same thing with my grandparents, with everybody. I'm gonna live it till it's not there anymore. Because I don't wanna see that moment where they just drive off, you know?
Yep.
So I think we did a lot of mending, a lot of learning.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
I feel
it's part of the journey, brother.
Very good.
And so many other subjects and information and details to share, right?
God, you know what? As I sit here with you and we record, my thought process is like, my God, look at all the different avenues we can go with this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All the things that we can talk about, the amount of people that can sit right here with us and we can have conversations, just life in general. You know, the world is open to opportunity.
Bro, talking as we were having the conversation and talking about the whole partnerships and the businesses and stuff, in that conversation, in my mind, I was already thinking, bro, I think I could open up this project. I'm like, I'm thinking about this and thinking about that. I need to go back and talk to Alex. We were talking about the whole consignment and selling of used vehicles and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I want to pick his brain, bro. And this guy is so knowledgeable. And hopefully we'll have him on the show soon.
Yeah, we're gonna have him on our show.
But yeah, dude, that whole business mind, I can't shut it off. I can't shut it off. So yeah, bro, I can't stop it. I'm sorry.
That's good, man. That's good. That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about.
So bro, that's a good show, man. Good show.
It was good. This one was long, man. This was a long one, but I think
we could take a lot out of it though. Let me cut it there.
Running.
So we're keeping it real. We want to keep it local. If you've got a business that fuels a lifestyle or a journey that forges warriors, let's talk.
Guys, sponsorship slots and guest chairs are open for those who live the grind. Shoot us a message, the helmet's off, and the door's open. Thanks a lot.